Sup everyone, we are back with more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And it's time for us to head off to another area. We have gone through 3, and now let's skip right to the bottom, just because new area, shiny, fun, perhaps. Maybe not fun. Ooh, this looks fun. Oh wait, there's hacksaws and stuff. Maybe it's not the most fun. And there's also a skull in a jar and a skeleton. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, also there's blood on a table. Yeah, never mind. This might... What am I talking about? I'm going to see a coroner. Why did I think this would be fun? I believe this is it. Dr. Seif's laboratory. That chemical smell really assaults the nose. There's plenty to assault the eyes in here, too. It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we might as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? What a seasoned tourist you've become, Mrs. Sato. Well, this is my second visit to London. We could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. Well, there's certainly probably a lot of souls in here. I'm surprised I can't look at this. This chest stands out. There's also this chest here, but it's not as prominent. Well, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold. Western cabinet makers really are very skilled, aren't they? Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, so that's what it was pointing out. Mrs. Sato? Can't you tell that I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? I mean, you could have talked about the owl or the crow on top of it. But it's okay. I know that you probably don't want to pick a bone with that. It's how I cope, seethe, and mold. I'll be sure to remember that from now on. Alright, so I guess the entire right side of the... Oh, never mind, I can talk about... Look at this stuff. That looks like an owl and a crow up there. Okay, so it's a separate thing, that's why. I know, and they haven't even twitched since we came in here. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo. I was afraid you were going to say that. I'm surprised they both know what taxidermy is in English. It's a big word, after all. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. I mean, owls are pretty unmoving creatures, so I can see it with them, not with a crow, though. Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Daruma doll on display in the office instead. This light is pretty. What is it? I suppose this is Dr. Seif's desk. Oh, I would not like to work in a place like this. It's very tidy, though, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Imagine how efficiently she must work. The lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves. Well, yes, those are valid concerns, I suppose. I can just about cope with a one-eyed Daruma doll watching over me, but that's all. Aren't you the one that brought that Daruma doll? I would think you would be able to do more than cope with it. What's in this cabinet? Look at all the bottles on the shelves in these cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals. These ones here are labeled highly toxic. Ugh, that's worrying. Because there are also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in there. Oh yes, and they actually say salt and pepper on them. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has meals here sometimes. Life goes on, even when you're surrounded by death. It's a pretty poetic thing to say, Rinosuke. Also, I feel like it's not a smart idea to keep salt and pepper alongside extremely toxic substances. Oh look, it's the League of Legends subreddit. I don't know, I just thought of the most toxic thing I could think of right off the bat. I don't even play League. Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. Pale, huh? You sure it isn't white? I suppose they're fruit liquors or something. Or like the pickled umeboshi plums we make back home. Ah, Father had jars like that in his laboratory as well. I expect they're human organs in a preserving solution. Probably as examples of some rare medical condition. Miss Usato, there are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine never to know about. Ever. Oh. So as I said, I'm sure they're fruit liquors or umeboshi, aren't they? Of course. God. I love the frickin' fact that Ryunosuke literally just, if he's ever scared of something, he just pretends it's something else in order to try to trick his own mind. And finally this. A table and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it all looks quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbing? It might be best not to ponder it too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's open on the desk does make me wonder, though. A tome? What type of magic is she casting? Is she a red mage, black mage, white mage, blue mage? How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air? I think acrid's the right word. You'd either have to have a cast iron constitution or a really terrible sense of smell. Probably the latter. I think that's everything here. Oh, wait. The chandelier, maybe? Nope. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to come back here. It's a cool backdrop, at least. Prison. I still want to go to the prosecutor's office and see that frickin' masked dude. Well, we know we have to go to the experimentation stage, so... You know what? Yeah, let's just go there. Screw it. We'll get it out the way. Gina, you here? Foot of the Crystal Tower. It feels weird. We haven't gotten a single lick of music yet in this entire episode. Well, at least we have... Yo, puppy! I had no idea there were so many people in the world. I mean, they did say that London was home to 6 million people, and that's not even including all the people here for the Great Exhibition from outside the country. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point. Has it? I shut my brain down so I didn't really notice, to be honest. Gosh. I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes, Mr. Naruhodo. Listen, brain empty. It's how I survive. There is a very faint music in the background, actually. It's very faint. It's unlike all of the sounds of the people talking in the audience and what... Not audience, what do you call it? You know, just the rabble of the citizenry. There you are. I'd have had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long. Oh, never mind. Okay, Gregson's here. Oh, Inspector Gregson. I see you're hard at work as usual. Warm greetings to you. I do hope you've been keeping well since last we met. What's with all the ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning. Not you, Sunshine. The gentlewoman so loyally at your side. Oh. Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. Might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart. I suppose. As you probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the scene some more. Right. Well, that's the untrainees' domain. Alright, get over here, Gina. She's too busy playing with the dog. I can understand, fully. She seems to be busy playing with the puppy. Probably giving it a traditional East End training. I have no idea what that means. Gina? She's a police officer now? Amazing, isn't it? That it is. She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place, anyway. She's got the detection bug, if you ask me. Yep. I think she'll follow in my footsteps nicely. What do you mean? I'm being transferred. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London. Oh no, really? I wonder why. I swear, every time I think about this too much, but at the end of the last game, there was that stuff with the 4 people's names, and he was also mentioned alongside Asogi and Asian. So there was... there might be something there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's getting moved to Japan or something, I don't know. It's just a potential thing. Nothing's for certain. That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see how you're getting along. Not likely, but you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is. You're going to France? To France? I'll be working on the Paris Police Prefecture. Should be right up my alley. But France? It's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there? That's the way the adult world works, sunshine. Now don't go poking your nose in where it's not wanted. Huh. I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go. What? You're taking Gina to Paris? Well, I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what'll become of her. Aw, you care for her. Suppose he's worried she slipped back into slipping her hands in people's pockets and purses. Oh, or that. That works too. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruhodo. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh. That works too. Oh, of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, isn't it? Mine too, is it? Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me? No, of course not. I don't want to see her go, though. She's my favorite character. Or at least one of them. It's between Sholmes, her, and Soseki. Gotta keep that diving diva safe and sound until all this is over, at least. Oi, did you just call me a bloomin' diving diva again? So you heard that, did you? Finally got your attention. Right, well, any questions about the scene, you can put them to my capable detective diva here. The absolute nerve of that guy. Alright, you're the boss. Inspector Lestrade is in charge here now. Suppose I better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you've got a new dog, have you? Aww. Isn't he great? Toby's his name. Oh my god. So we... Aww. Wow. Damn, I've already put up... By the time this video's up... Actually, no, by the time that the video where I said I might change my profile picture is up, I changed it to Gina before this recording. And now there's this. What do I even think of this? I'm apparently Gina's dog. Then again, I also... My full name's Tobias, which is Gina's boss. I don't know, it's a weird... Oh, how delightful! He's absolutely adorable. So you named the dog after... Huh. Named the dog after your boss. Interesting. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But it's the not-so-lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. I love that dog. And no bias because it shares the same name as me. None at all. I swear. What? Excuse me? Why did it change from investigating the scene to investigating the scene? Why? You know what? I'm going right to this. I can't ignore this. Where did you find that little mutt then, Gina? Oh, don't be so flaming rude, Odo. Slight overreaction, don't you think? No, don't call Toby a frickin' mutt. He is a wonderful dog. He ain't no mutt, alright. Toby's... how do they put it? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective. Sorry. I've given him a proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you. Hell yeah. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? Police recruit dogs now. I've heard that they're already being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. This is a true fact. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell, after all. Yeah, I remember hearing about that, actually. Germany was the first place that instilled police dogs as a concept. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself, as it happens. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. Susato's face of pure disappointment. Ah, that's nothing compared to this little fellow Odo. Oh, really? According to what the boss said, once Tobier's got a good whiff of your drawers... God, look at him. He's so adorable. I love this dog. He could chase that scent to the other side of the world. I feel like that's going to come up as a plot point, and I'm all the way excited for it. What? To the other side of the world? You mean he can swim? Mr. Naruhodo, you are an idiot. I think you may have missed the point. By rather a wide margin. Perhaps as wide as the sea itself. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. I'm telling you, Odo, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in future. Yes, I agree. Right? One of these days they'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way round. Oh dear. Sorry, Gina. I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. I agree with it. Well, anyway, whatever you think about it, Toby is Britain's first police dog. I found him down the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out on the street. There you go. I knew she'd lifted him from somewhere. Listen. This dog clearly... The previous owners were not worthy of this puppy. Oh, Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. I'm glad we got to hear about that. Now let's talk about the revised investigating the scene. Gina? We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm going to be playing with my new friend here. Ah, yes, Toby. Boo! Boo, boo, boo! I am required to voice anything that Toby says, as we are one and the same. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, you can't go up there, Suze. Suze? I like that nickname. I don't remember that from the first game. Oh. It's like I told Odo yesterday, even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's it called again? Reason we ain't supposed to touch it. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one! That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The Forensic something? The Forensic Investigation Team? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one, yeah. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with you. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps. That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching the time or something. Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. You what? You've met him? Last time my boss was called to go and see him. He waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling. Tragic. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing. Oh, yeah? Oh, is that why it was revised? Because we already went to go see Strongheart before this? That would make sense. Though it's still funny. Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. So, you're still saying all this is above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, them's the stairs. Off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. Always a legend, you are. Alright. And let's talk about the trial. Also, I just want to say, I'm pretty sure Gina herself has a lot of animations. I said this before back with William Shamspeare, but I think that there's very much a type of, what do you call it? There's very much a type of favoritism that the animators do on like how many animations certain characters get, because Gina definitely has way above average. It was great, wasn't it? I had a right laugh. It was a new one on me, that. You know, being in court and not spending the whole time worrying I'm about to be found out. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, and Odo's made things odd for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. But watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that dodgy professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix. The dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. Yeah. It's the boss I feel sorry for. Send off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all. You know, the dodgy engineer, what's his name again? Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber. Enoch. That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess they would be. Yeah. It's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says it's giving him gut-ache. You sure it's not the fish and chips? Oh dear, but I wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. Exactly. Man, last game I was on the same wavelengths as Ryunosuke, and this one I'm apparently on the same wavelengths as Susato. I guess that means that I'm having some character development myself. The engineer's whereabouts. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they've had any luck. He's really funny looking, got 2 eyes that don't match. Stole a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry, who? You know, that scowling reaper what's always glagging down glasses of that blood-red plonk. Ah, Lord Van Zykes. He's always at it in for me, that cove. Don't know what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a great good boss as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee. The way I see it, if the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod, you're equally bad off with both. I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad you've put that one to bed. Snoring. Anyway, the point is everyone at the yard's dead set on finding the fishy engineer. But there don't seem to be no clues to go on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all. I feel like the professor is going to be our best lead on that. But I guess we'll have to wait. For now, let us move on upwards. Thank you for being here, Gina. Oh right, I can examine this again. Here's the scorching on the ground that you mentioned. Yes, and there's what's left of the green balloon's envelope. All clear evidence of the balloon that exploded on the day of the incident. Poor Professor Harebrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams have been shattered like this. Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were. Ouch. I'm a bad person. It's okay. We all are, to an extent. No one's perfect. These stairs lead up to the experimentation stage. Let's go and see what we can find out. Up to the top. Music staying the same or not? I had a feeling it would change. Instantly looking to see if anything's changed here. Huh? Oh my! So this is the machine. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrain went to in order to obtain the research grant. No. The professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course. It is amazing, though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. British. You're right about that. You never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. It's very over the top. Oh, look, is that... Oh, shit, I wasn't expecting to see him here. Lord Van Zykes? So, I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Mrs. Sato? Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. But we have permission to be here, from the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine. As long as we don't touch anything. From the top? Do you mean Lord Stronhardt? Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here and it wouldn't have bent her steel well. The investigation music has started. So let us get to it. This instantly catches my eye, whatever. Oh, maybe I can't examine that. Alright. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the birdcage is right in the middle of it all, just here. But look, Mr. Naruhodo, that metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's designed to open. It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred. The birdcage could have been dropped through and disappeared from sight. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is it? Is there? Doesn't seem likely. Whoa. Someone here? Oh, isn't it exhilarating, all this different architecture from all corners of the world? It does make you feel a bit like an explorer, doesn't it? I know it's all subjective, but the onion-shaped roofs have rather caught my attention personally. It is very subjective, isn't it? Japanese buildings with their wood and paper construction have excellent ventilation. And I've realized that British buildings being made from bricks and stone are very strong and long-lasting. The more you know about how things are done in either countries, the more you understand your own, I feel. Oh yes, I do agree with you there. But I can't help wondering what an onion does for the roof of a building. I mean, I suppose it's plain on my mind because I don't like the taste of onions. You really ought to let your taste in vegetables dictate your taste in roofs, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, that's some narrow-minded thinking right there. This is the cage, is it? Or something? This wasn't here yesterday. Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the birdcage. According to what Professor Harebrain said in court, it's made of wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruhodo? I'd understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they'd finished their work. But sadly not with the body inside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. Okay, cool, we got the birdcage. This cage with the victim inside crashed down to the crystal tower. Alright. Can we check that out right now? Get it out the way. What's this? Some discoloration there. Ah, look here, Mrs. Sato. Oh yes, the wood's cracked and broken a little. I suppose because it fell from such a height. Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying down into the crystal tower below. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. Leaving the man inside tragically dead. Okay. You know, they mentioned that there was like a body double or something. Whoa. They mentioned that there was like a body double or something in this. You know, like how they had a body double on stage while the real Odiasmin was dead above. Which makes me wonder, this might seem like a bit of a far shot, but what if the frickin' the body double ends up being like a witness? Yet again, just one of my usual far-fetched thinkings, but I don't know, it seems plausible at least. Right, I think that's everything we need to check out there. Let's check out this, shall we? Look at that horn-shaped transmitting device, isn't it amazing? That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. It makes you think, doesn't it? If only it had been just a normal horn, none of this would have ever happened. That's almost exactly what I thought as well. I bet I can predict what you're going to say next in that case. Tsunugi omae wa. You're going to say, nothing ever goes to plan, aren't you? Oh, no, I would never say something like that. Why wouldn't you say that, though? But why? Why would you not say that? Here's the balloons. However much I look at them, I just can't come to terms with those Tamari handballs floating in the sky. You've been glaring at them constantly since we came up here. Sorry, the feeling of wanting to ride on one and wanting never to set foot in one are fighting it out inside me. Mood. But if you don't look down where you're walking, you might fall from the stage. I don't think I'd notice. That's how fiercely the battle inside me is raging. I think you should make peace with riding in one, Mr. Naruhodo. It really would be much safer that way. Alright, I thought we'd maybe get some actual stuff from that, but this works too. I guess all we have to do now is just talk to Mr. Man over here. Actually, we can check the Ferris wheel first. I hear that a ride on the Ferris wheel is a favorite romantic outing among young London couples. I think the romance will be slightly spoiled by the abject terror, personally, but then again, I'm not a Londoner. Are you a little scared of heights, Mr. Naruhodo? I think Rinosuke is scared of almost everything, honestly. He's kind of a wuss. It's not that I'm scared, not at all. It's just that staying on the ground seems so much safer. Well, perhaps I shall have to ask Iris and Mr. Sholmes to accompany me on it in that case. When you put it like that, part of me does want to give it a try. Oh dear, it is complicated for you, isn't it? Can't believe... Rinosuke does not want to be left out. Alright. Time to rip off the bandage. Come on. Least approachable man in the world, winner 10 years in a row. 10 years running. Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistants stand firm behind you. Lord Von Zykes. Oh god, it's the poor people. What? Well... Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna go back to sulking in the corner. I'd rather do literally anything else besides talking to you. I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Well, I would say read the room, but we're currently outside, so that doesn't really work. Oh, I read them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Well, the thing is... Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate. On the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you are disturbing me. Wait, I wasn't even looking at the text box. I was literally looking at his face as I said that, and then I looked down and read the text box. Ah! Never mind, state your business then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Sykes about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. Yeah, thanks. Let's talk about Enik Drebber first, because that's probably a less painful thing to talk about. Save the worst for last in this case. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Wait, where did she pull that out of? Crap, I wasn't watching. I have to look it back. Which, according to Professor Hairbrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. So, I was just wondering. I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but, we'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Nothing has changed in that regard. She's always been that way. Fine, why not? I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. 10 years ago? Damn, that's some long hair. I appreciate it. Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. Funny that he kept the same monocle for 10 years. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? What is it about Lord Van Sykes? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. I can read your mind, much like your assistant can. It's hard to make out, but he appears to be wearing a monocle with black glasses. Alright, and let's talk about this. This seems very uncomfortable and awkward. So, Clint. Nice one, Ryunosuke. Nice opener of a sentence. What's the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Sykes? You Nipponese, I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So, you've been investigating me, have you? Oh, no, it's not like that. Well, alright, it is a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Sykes family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? Is something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry? There's more to it then. Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? You say this, and yet we've beaten you in a total of, what, 4 court cases? You're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same brush next? So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happens, Lord Van Sykes, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Are you aware of the Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I feature in one of the displays there for public scorn. Of course the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork? Which... Wait, you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. I was unaware of that. He's turned as white as a sheet. I mean, he's kind of already always pale, but he's even more pale than usual. Oh, great, look who it is. I was hoping to see you again, now that Susato's with us. Ah, the file I requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you. It's weird seeing him from that angle. I fucking knew it. I knew Susato would react. Are you alright? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? Lord Von Zyke's apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see it too. Lord Van Zykes. May we speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him? Why? This bitch about to run away so they don't get discovered. They are, aren't they? I fucking knew it! Kazuma-sama! I fucking knew it! I'm glad they're tearing off this bandage way earlier than I thought they would. I'm glad they're not beating around the bush on this. Kazuma? Kazuma? I don't believe it! Your posture, your presence. It can only be... It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? I fucking knew it. I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? Wait! Too late. What's going on here? We're gonna need to talk to him about it. Oh, fuck. This is so tense! I'm so glad that this got brought up so soon. Because I thought it was him being Kazuma was the most obvious thing. You can even tell from the way he stands and that type of stuff, and Susato literally says just that. God, I'm so happy that it's brought up this early. What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. Oh god, we're having an amnesia plot? I mean, I trust this game to do it well, but I've seen there's so many amnesia, memory loss plots out there. Oh, man. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna take a wild guess here. I'm gonna say that what if, like, the final case involves, like, Von Zykes getting accused of murder, and we end up going against Kazuma in court because he's getting trained to be a prosecutor. So what if we frickin' go against him and he's the prosecution? That would be something else. He has amnesia? Tomorrow he will appear in court at my... Oh, shit! Yo! Bro, the frickin' prosecution gets an aide? What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us? Holy shit. Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Bro, imagine if... oh god, is frickin' Kazuma gonna be handing over stuff to... Is he gonna be handing bottles and doing more doing chalice and bottle stuff with Von Zykes? That'll be amazing if so. Oh, yes, thank you. Holy shit, that's a bomb that was dropped. I definitely saw a reaction there. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Jesus. Yo! You'd already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Yesterday, in fact, at Lord Von Zykes' office. I see. Are we gonna get called out for not calling him out earlier? And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive, it means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us. I know. We're going to need to speak to him about that. Well, luckily he's the last place we've got to go. He's the last place we're going to go to. You're going to have to leave now. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? Foreign affairs problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mrs. Sato. Of course. Dun-dun-dun. Hi, Gina. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum. Wait, what? Oh, this is new. Gina. We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Bow! Oh. Sorry, I skipped that. Apparently we can't look around on the stage now because of the forensic investigation team. Because the forensic investigation team are at work. Can't you do anything, Gina, in your capacity as Inspector Lestrade? Look, I'd like to help you out. But I'm just a trainee, you know? Ain't nothing I can do. When it suits you, yes. Alright. Well, God. I'd say that was a very climactic end for this episode. Next time on Great Ace Attorney 2, we're gonna head over to the prison in order to see our good old defendant. The mad scientist defendant. And then after that, we're gonna head over, I guess, to Madame Tusples and see if we can talk to Mr. Sholmes. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, mata ne.